The birth of new technology. Water fuel cell technical brief. We're going to be searching this document for words called opposite. So here we have in our first thing the dual inline RLC network. Variable inductor coil, similar to inductor C, connected to opposite polarity zone, voltage zone, further inhibits electron movement or deflection within the voltage intensifier circuit. Next, movable wiper arm fine-tunes resonant action during pulsing operations. Inductor D, in relationship to inductor C, electrically balances the opposite voltage electrical potential across voltage zones. Here we're talking about equal opposite polarity pulses being of equal values. Next, furthermore, electrical charged ions or particles can move towards stationary voltage fields of opposite polarity. There we go. Next, net force is the electrical attraction force between opposite electrically charged entities. Next up, voltage potential within an electrical circuit can cause one or more electrons to be dislodged from the atom due to opposite polarity attraction between unlike charged entities. Again, this is all about equal opposite polarity charges or fields being on the plates. The ionized atoms, along with free-floating negative charge electrons, are now deflected, pulsing electrical voltage fields of opposite polarity. Okay. Spelled out black and white, pretty good there. Negative electrical voltage potential is simultaneously applied to negative voltage zone via resonant charging choke, which is electrically linked to opposite end of primary coil. Resonant charging choke in series with exciter array forms an inductor capacitor circuit. Variable inductor coil, similar to inductor, is connected to opposite polarity voltage zone. Here we go. Movable wiper arm fine-tunes resonant action during pulsing operations. Inductor, in relationship to inductor, electrically balances the opposite electrical potential across voltage zone. Here it is, spelled out. Inductor, in relationship to inductor, so comparing the two inductors together, electrically balances the opposite electrical potential across voltage zones. So equal opposite polarity pulses. Pretty simple. The resultant interfacing voltage circuit now exposes water molecule to a pulsating high-intensity voltage field of opposite polarity. Spelled out black and white there. Furthermore, electrical charged ions or particles can move towards stationary voltage fields or voltage zones of opposite polarity. Pretty simple, guys. Equal opposite polarity pulses is what's needed here. That is the pinnacle of what we're trying to achieve here. With acceleration of a particle mass acted on by a net force, whereby net force is the electrical attraction force between opposite electrically charged entities. Voltage potential with an electrical circuit can cause one or more electrons to be dislodged from the water molecule atom due to opposite electrical polarity attraction. Placement of a pulse voltage potential across exciter plates while inhibiting and preventing electron flow within voltage intensifier circuit causes water molecule to separate into its component parts, released hydrogen and oxygen gases. By pulling away, utilizing opposite attraction force, its charged water molecule atoms as illustrated and blah blah blah. Opposite polarity electrical attraction force continues to cause negatively charged oxygen atom to migrate to positive charged voltage plate, while at the same time opposite polarity electrical attraction force causes positive charged hydrogen atoms to migrate the opposite direction to negative voltage plate. As a step charging voltage wave increases in voltage amplitude from several millivolts to several hundred volts during each pulse train. Subjecting and exposing water molecules to even higher voltage levels, up to and beyond several thousand volts, causes water bath to go into a state of ionization by allowing opposite polarity forces to eject one or more electrons. Intensifies electrical attraction force causes dislodged negative charged electrons to migrate to positive voltage plate, while electrical attraction force causes positive charged atom nucleus to travel towards negative voltage plate. Applied electrical attraction force always being of equal voltage intensity but opposite in electrical polarity as voltage amplitude is attenuated. Spelled out right there for you guys.
This is Stand Revenge.
Remember, electrical polarization process is a physical process which uses opposite electrical polarity attraction force to perform work by disrupting and switching off the covalent bond between unlike charged water molecule atoms. As ambient air, this is an ambient gas process apparently, enters into passes through air filter chamber towards and beyond air gate assembly, the moving air gases are exposed to a high energy voltage fields up to and beyond 2000 volts of opposite electrical polarity, which causes ambient air gases to become ionized. Positive electrical voltage field causes negative charged orbital electrons to be ejected from gas atom due to opposite electrical attraction force. Purity extraction process is subsequently exposed to opposite electrical voltage fields. This is a different function of the water fuel cell entirely, but still uses the opposite electrical voltage fields. Steam resonator also applies alternate or opposite electrical voltage pulses. Positive water molecule water bath deflected towards voltage surface via both opposite electrical attraction force. Repetitive formation of opposite voltage pulses at a given pulse frequency continues to heat water bath until a desired temperature is reached. So that's a steam resonator. Primed gases exposed to high intensity voltage fields, typically 2000 volts or above at 10 kilohertz or above, of opposite electrical polarity, which in turn not only performs the electrical polarization process, but also sets up and triggers hydrogen fracturing process. So just to clarify, there are a few different processes here that Stan talks about. Number one is the electrical polarization process, which is the baseline level of separating the molecules, and then there's the hydrogen fracturing process, which actually breaks the atoms down by stealing electrons from them. Water droplets escaping from spray mist are exposed to a high intensity voltage field of opposite polarity. Energy pumping action undergoing resonant propagation of opposite electrical stress oscillates the energy aperture. The electron extraction process ionizes the highly energized combustible gases to decrease atomic mass, while applied voltage pulse frequency of opposite electrical polarity initiates the triggering process. So we're talking about once you pull the molecule apart with the EPP process, and then you raise the energy level through additional chambers, and then you actually fracture the molecule itself, you can then trigger the explosion also with equal opposite polarity pulses. Energy pumping action here. Once unlike atoms of the water molecule separates into its component gases by way of electrical polarization process, the newly liberated and subsequently free-floating hydrogen, oxygen, and dissolved air gases submerged in water bath are further subjected to pulse voltage stimulation, exerting electrical pressure of opposite polarity on the atomic level. Neat. What else do we got? Opposite attraction force, opposite attraction force, opposite polarity. It says once applied voltage pulse of opposite polarity is terminated during pulse off time, the energy aperture automatically adjusts to maintain a given energy level, since each aperture oscillation emits a discrete amount of universal energy. Neat. Covalent switch off occurs when deflected and elongated orbital electron pathway reaches a point where applied opposite electrical stress is sufficient enough to cause the gyroscopic action, that's the electrons spinning around the nucleus of nucleus particles, to be reduced in orbital spin velocity, which, when occurring, directly weakens the covalent bonding of the water molecule by attenuating the electromagnetic fields of each atom structure of the water molecule. Right here, black and white, to break apart the water molecule, the covalent switch off, we've got these electrons orbiting these atoms here, and with the equal opposite polarity stress, the electrical stress causes these orbiting electrons to basically be pulled out of that gyroscopic action. We have a set state where these things are spinning around these things. The forces pull them away from that, disrupting that orbit, and if enough energy is applied, it's just practically pulled apart. Superimposing electrical stress of opposite voltage polarity to switch off covalent bonding to perform electrical polarization process of water. So again, there's several steps here, what he talks about. There is the electrical polarization process. There's energy priming, which increases the energy state. And then there's the hydrogen fracturing, which basically pulls the electrons from the actual atoms, destabilizing them. And there's actual triggering, which actually ignites the water fuel gas. Inherently, the design parameters of coil structures determines the efficiency by which voltage intensity of opposite potential can perform work to trigger hydrogen fracturing process. Every single one of these processes include opposite polarity pulses. VIC coil assembly is specially designed to allow voltage potential of opposite electrical attraction force of high voltage intensity to instantly release thermal explosive energy from natural water. The mode of operability of VIC coil assemblies allows voltage potential of opposite voltage polarity to increase and be attenuated up to and beyond 20 kilovolts, while inhibiting and restricting amp leakage in the milliamperes range, establishing operational parameter of utilizing opposite electrical attraction force of high voltage intensity to instantly release thermal explosive energy, yada yada yada. Voltage potential across circumference surface area as to blah 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 to bring on a perform voltage waveguide phenomena causing and allowing the applied electrical stress of opposite voltage polarity to trigger hydrogen fracturing process. I think I'm just about done here. It goes in here, just search the document here for opposite, and you'll find everything that I'm talking about here when I refer to equal opposite polarity pulses.
This is Stand Revenge.